Alright, y'all. My bad. I'm back in this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to take a little breather, little break. But welcome back. Thank you. Um, let's get right back into it. Of course, I'm working. While I'm working, we will be going through my YouTube because my algorithm fire. It's fire, man. I mean,
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
alright, let's get it. Stanky BBLs.
It's because I heard BBLs be smelling. So I was wondering, is it the surgery that make the BBL smell? If you want a BBL, do you...
Yo, this dude mouth.
Brother, no, man.
Gotta sacrifice smelling like a bad bitch and smelling like 2 pounds of ass, really 10 pounds of ass for the rest of your life. You went from smelling like palm trees and cherry blossoms to 10 pounds of bounce that motherfucking monkey. Does getting a BBL insinuate that you're gonna stink for the rest of your life?
People are still BBL smell. Is it real? Well, I thought in my previous BBL smell video that I cleared it up, but apparently I didn't because there's still quite a bit of confusion out there.
Hey, I heard. Look, I don't think. I mean, I've been around chicks with BBLs and stuff like that, but I've never. I can't say I've ever been close enough to one. To where that thing smell like hot rubber. Let's keep going.
Let's finally get to the bottom of the BBL smell. Just might smell.
Shout out to
Theories
Doctor.
being circulated on social media about why the BBL just might smell. So let's start with 2 of the most popular hypotheses of the BBL smell.
Apparently, there's 2 reasons why the BBL smells. Due to you having to get those lymphatic massages and get the drainage, that causes a certain smell that lingers for about 4 to 6 weeks post-op. Even after that, girls with their newfound bottom can't either reach or don't know how to properly go around their new bum to get far enough in between the cheeks so they can wash properly.
So this lovely woman believes that the
Why am I out of breath hearing that? I never knew that was a thing. See, I'm a skinny dude, right? You know what I mean? I got a nice athletic build. So washing the crevices of my body was never a difficult thing to do. Is that a real thing? Like having so much ass that you can't get in the crevice right? That you can't clean the crevice right? You ever be in your nail and you got that dirt and then you get in the crevice of the nail and when you scoop it all out, you see all the stuff on the end of your nail, like, oh, that was under my nail the whole time. That's in your ass? That's on your booty crevice crack? What do you got to say, Dr. Young?
BBL smell is due to either 4 to 6 weeks of drainage from the incisions or from basically just bad hygiene, not being able to clean back there properly. Well, the fact is that drainage does occur after liposuction surgery. The incisions can drain fluid for usually a day or 2, and this is often the anesthetic fluid that we inject to perform the liposuction.
I didn't want to do it this way.
But this fluid really doesn't have much of a smell at all unless it gets infected. And it's extremely rare to see these incisions drain for honestly more than a day or 2. Now, in regards to her second theory of why BBL smell may be real, let's return to that a little bit later. And here's another potential cause of the BBL smell, as very eloquently described by this influencer.
What the fuck? It smell like bounce the fuck that ass. It smell like bounce the fuck out of that ass.
Oh, somebody been bouncing the fuck out some ass.
Now, if somebody does not wash their faja afterwards, it can definitely smell like a dumpster behind a Chinese restaurant. But I don't know that not wash.
Come on, man. Come on, man. So you mean to tell me there's anywhere from 40 to 70% of these bad chicks that are walking around this planet, primarily in America, with these BBLs, fine as hell, beautiful. I could think of 7 off rip, fine as hell, and I know they had BBLs because they got the antibody. You mean to tell me that they walk by air? That air, when you sit down and it kind of flip up? You mean to tell me some of these bad chicks got some of that? Yo, man, I don't know.
What the hell? What the hell? What the helly? What the helly? What the heliante? What the helion? What the heli berry? What the heli burton?
Man.
The faja can explain why the BBL smell appears to happen to so many people. Often you wear the faja for a month, maybe 2 months after the surgery, but if you're getting a BBL smell for months or years later, then that's not necessarily due to the faja.
Oh my God. What is that smell?
Well, there are some doctors, specifically plastic surgeons, not including me, who have weighed in on why the BBL smell might be real. Let's take a peek at one doctor's explanation.
So what are the reasons of why a BBL would smell? Well, really it goes back to anybody that has surgery. So in general, when you get anesthesia done, anesthesia uses some different types of gases with some fluorine in them, and that kind of smells a little bit funky. So as you breathe that off, it is a little bit of a weird smell. I would say it doesn't smell normal. The second thing is, as you are healing, especially in that acute period, your body is changing a little bit in its metabolic profile. So you will notice metabolic changes in smells. My best example of this is actually for people that diet. When they really push carbs way low, they'll actually get into something called ketosis, and they'll actually make ketones out of their fat, and they'll actually breathe that ketones off, and that actually makes a fruity smell. Some people like it, some people don't. The third reason that a lot of people are going to smell from liposuction is that liposuction drains a lot of fluid. It's very, very normal. Now, in some of that fluid is going to be blood, which specifically is going to be iron. And iron is so important to your body because it helps to capture and hold oxygen in hemoglobin, that you smell iron all the time. If you can smell it, you'll be like, that smells kind of like iron.
Well, these are all true, and I do credit the good doctor for his in-depth analysis. Now, his first explanation about anesthesia and having those gases on your breath, that is true, but it only really lasts, my experience, for several hours. Usually at least by the next day, that smell is gone. Now, as far as...
Yeah, that's probably because you're a good doctor, Doc.
Drainage of...
These chicks is going to Mexico. You know what I mean? They getting them quick procedures offshore for the low ski. That's a tough road to hoe.
What?
Pun intended.
Causing a smell of iron and the metabolic changes, well, these really settle down within a matter of a couple of days, like I mentioned earlier about the drainage. And so that won't necessarily explain why you've got baddies in the clubs many months later who appear to have the BBL smell. So is it possible that the BBL smell is all just cap, that it's not real? Well, this next gentleman really presents himself as somebody who knows what he's talking about.
So my guy Don P says BB.
Bro, what's up with the shape of this dude's head, man? I tell you like this though, I guarantee you, if you ask his mama, she say he was an easy baby. That was a painless pregnancy. You can tell by the shape of his head that he slid out easy, right? Like if it was a little bit more blocky, it was probably a little bit more uncomfortable, a little harder to do. But this right here, the shape, the angle, the You see the curvature of his scalp. He ain't got no scalp, but you see the curvature like that provides an easy exit out because it's kind of pointed, but it's rounded, so it's like a rounded, pointed out.
BBLs stink. I've had
That nigga came out super easy.
multiple women with BBLs. They don't stink, my dude. Now, the women who have the BBL might stink. It sounds like you had a case of some bad cooter.
Okay, so here's my take. There's nothing about getting a BBL surgery that's gonna make you smell due to the operation itself. You don't get drainage for weeks afterwards unless you have a complication like some type of an infection, and that can definitely smell, but it's also very rare. I believe that the BBL smell is basically due to poor hygiene. It can be very difficult to wash in that area if it is different than it used to be, and especially if you get a large BBL performed. But the BBL smell is not a medical condition. It's not something that is irreversible if you get the operation, and could be something that could be solved with a bidet or some other type of nice hygienic cleansing system. So why did this whole BBL smell phenomenon start? Well, take a peek at this video right up here where I go into all the details of the BBL smell. Where did it start? Who are these baddies in the club that you may be hearing about? All of it is in this video and explained very, very well. And as always, remember to...
So, basically, the moral of the story is that BBL smell you have is not because of the surgery that you had partaken in, and this is a result of said procedure. It's because your ass is not being cleaned properly. You're not cleaning properly. You gotta get in them crevices, man. And you gotta start using some of that good soap. Like, don't use none of that Dove and none of that they got fragrance out. No. You need that Dr. Bronner muff. You know what I mean? You need that Dr. Bronner. You need that 99%. Like, if you could, it's like pure alcohol. You need if you leave it on your skin too long, it'll start eating your skin. Like, you can use it not just for your skin, but you can also use it to clean your toilet and wash this. You need that type of soap at least once to really get the bacteria out of those crevices, man. You cannot be doing a disservice to people like that. You can't be out here being fine like that. Only to be in the ideal situation where someone wants to see you take that thing off. And they hit with the smell of hell. Y'all got to do better. Y'all got to do better.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Do better. I'm out. I can't do it. That was a lot. Wash your asses. Hey, that was a good recording. Yeah. Put a lot of hot sauce on it. There's one ass strand sticking up. Always one strand sticking up. Hey, I like that doctor. Dr. Yeon. You don't know. Dr. Yeon know.
What is up, y'all?
Boy, what the hell are they doing upstairs, boy?
academics. Can't ride no wave. They got me feeling like.
Quick, let me see anything else other than going on. Yo, did y'all see the Lil Wayne thing, bro? Yo, I love Wayne, but we gonna have to stop giving Wayne excuses. Lil Wayne, we love you. But every time you speak, it makes us realize that unless you're gonna, I keep telling you, Wayne's discography gonna age bad. He one of them, if you were there, you knew, like if you know type situations. Because Wayne has been so disconnected with the, like, yo, Drake is trying to do songs and Drake's trying to do streams. Like, Drake is trying to still tap in with the current culture. He wants to be current. Drake might remix a TikTok song. You can tell. Lil Wayne, he's been so much in this I am a Martian land. Once he said he thought 21 Savage was a group, and he said that 10 years ago, I said, oh, this nigga's cooked. Now, it's one thing to be like, yo, I'm into my own craft. It's another thing to say, I don't know the current pulse of the culture. And that does matter because you don't get to adapt. You don't got to fully adapt, but you got to find how you, like, exist in the ever-changing climate. Music is a ever-changing climate. Because if Wayne was, like, for example, if you brought somebody to 2008 and they're rapping like a hip, a hop, a hip to the hop, no. That type of rapping is not how people are doing it. Like, you have to adjust to the times. And we have to be honest. Wayne, one of the best artists ever. But he never adjusted. And we always loved that a little bit about him because he was never dick riding type shit. But you saw how separated he was from the rest of the culture afterwards, right? Now, he commented on the Super Bowl, but he also commented on some other stuff. He said, Wayne said, every time I looked at it, he was talking about the Super Bowl. He says he will no longer consider performing at the halftime show. He says, every time I looked at it, it was nothing that made me want to go inside and see what was going on. He says he vows he'll never consider doing another halftime show. Sorry. He said, they stole that feeling. I don't want to do it. It was perfect. Okay? Here's the thing, too. Lil Wayne also claimed in, I believe, the same interview, they asked him about Watch the Throne. So, a new interview with Rolling Stones. Sorry, allergies. A new interview with Rolling Stones, Wayne didn't understand a reference to WTT, which is Watch the Throne. Prompting this conversation. He says, what's that?
Dang.
They said, Kanye and Jay-Z did an album. He said, Kanye and Jay-Z did an album?
Wow.
Now, if it was anybody else but Wayne, we would say, oh, he's being funny. He's trying to play them. But I think niggas really look like Wayne is spaced out, bro.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, what the fuck?
If that's true.
Like, my nigga, like, come on, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. We love Wayne, and we give him his credit. But, like, when we tap into, and by the way, he does have Carter 6 coming out, which supposedly is going to feature Miley Cyrus, Billie Eilish, Wyclef Jean, Andrea Bocelli, Ye as a producer, Wheezy, MGK, Elephant Man, Cameron Carter, who's his son, and Bono of U2. All good, right? All good. Like, you know, I like these features. Hopefully it's great. But Wayne exists now for me where it's like, it's nostalgic. Like, oh, shit. Like, oh, you fuck with Wayne? Like, that's how he exists to me now. He doesn't exist in any type of way where I'm like, oh, shit. I want something contemporary with him at all. Not saying it should. Do you get what I'm saying? Hold on. Okay. But yo, he's really like tapped out of this shit. Let's see if we go Lil Wayne, Rolling Stone. Let's see if we can find this interview. Like, here's the interview. Oh my God, they won't let us see it.
Paywall.
Try to refresh. Okay, it still won't let me see that. Let me see if I can find it rewritten on a different page. Okay, this is the cover. Whatever. He addresses Kendrick Lamar. He basically said, Wayne tells me things are fine with him and Lamar. Wayne called the LA rapper ahead of the Super Bowl to clear the air and encourage him. Why the hell did he call him? Nigga, you rocking with Drake. Fuck that nigga. He also claims the NFL gave him the impression they were going to offer him the performance, and he received an apology from someone in the league saying, we ain't in charge of the halftime show after Kendrick was announced. Wayne reveals he has no ill towards Jay-Z, who plays a key role in organizing it, but is no longer interested in performing. On being aware of Kendrick and Drake beef and accidentally performing Not Like Us, he says, I'm going to give you the perfect example. I went on stage and I'm singing this song. They thought I was dissing. And he says, I want my dude to be mad at me. I didn't even know it was Kendrick. Like, come on, bro. What the fuck is Wayne? Yo, what type of, yo, somebody must have laced Wayne, bro. Like, he says, I ain't want my dude to be mad at me. Talking about he want Drake to be mad at him about him kind of performing a quasi or altered version of Not Like Us. And he says, I didn't even know it was Kendrick. What the fuck do you mean you don't know that was Kendrick, bro? No fucking way. Not Like Us, Lil Wayne.
Wayne could be cooked like that, though.
Oh, that's when he did it at the beginning. Nah, oh shit. If I'm Drake, I'll be mad. You perform my song with you, and you start off by saying they not like us? It's no way Wayne didn't know that this was Kendrick, right?
All right, it says Lil Wayne confirms he and Kendrick Lamar are fine. Says he sang along to Not Like Us, not knowing the context.
Dang.
I ain't want Drake to be mad at me. I didn't even know it was Kendrick.
What the hell?
Hey, he shot out, boy.
I'll just quickly read them. I know you know them.
Actually, don't.
Okay. My hard work let Lil Wayne down.
And I think he just mean by he saw what everybody else he saw how much it meant to me. And I think that's all he mean is that I don't think it. And when we speak, and obviously he can't control that. And also I've spoken to him and I wished him all the best and told him he better kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you better kill it.
I'll just quickly read them. I know you know them.
Actually.
Nah. I mean, I'm buying it because Wayne really spaced out, but I'm really wondering, like, at this point, I'm like, is Wayne all the way there? Like, is he all the way there? Lil Wayne.
And they had a show or something too, didn't he?
Skip Bayless. Like, he was doing, like, sports stuff.
Okay, speaking of Super Bowl, I gotta hit you with this. This was 4 months ago because this is just me.
So this is before the Super Bowl.
And I do love you, but I just remain baffled and angry over why the NFL did not choose you to play halftime of a Super Bowl that's going to be in your hometown. And I know you went through a lot with it, but now that your feelings have settled some, how do you explain their choosing not to ask you?
He want to slap him.
Well,
I'm just saying that shit.
so I give you two. I give you both. So when I say I give you my general answer, and then I give you the personal answer. So generally, I explain it. Generally, I just believe that they, for whatever reason, I believe that it's over my head. Meaning that's I can't. I don't know why. Period. Yeah. Obviously, I believe that it'll be perfect. It's perfect, but I do not know why. But personally, the person I am, I straight look at it like you ain't there. You ain't there. You got to get there. You got to get there. You know how, but you know how we skip. You know how we rock. You gotta have it.
Come on, man. I mean, you're the GOAT, and it's New Orleans. It just makes no sense to me. I don't get it. Their politics played. I don't know.
That's another part of it. I think there's things that I can't control involved in it. So it is what it is.
Are you better with it now than you were when it first hit?
No.
You seem better because I know at first you were pretty torn up about it, as you should have been.
Talking to people that matter, talking to people that care about me, they telling me things that, telling me the truth, telling me the facts, and dealing with living, accepting the facts, embracing the facts, and moving on.
Okay. And you still, you're saying you got to get better to earn the right to be on that stage?
This is what I told myself. I said, what I told myself, I told Mac, I told Fabe, this is what I told him. I said, you know what?
Your managers, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I said, I want to get to the point where I'm undeniable.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to, I want them to walk in there and have 10 other choices, and whoever's in charge say, no.
Y'all all got mad at me when I said I think Wayne's era will age really badly. Is he gonna? Who did I compare Wayne to? Wayne might be Allen Iverson, and Allen Iverson was my favorite basketball player of all time. But his era and his style aged badly because, again, Wayne has had some good albums, but I don't know if he's had like these bona fide classics compared to like his contemporaries or people he would be mentioning that. Like if we talk about classics that Jay-Z got compared to him, can't bring Wayne in the conversation. You would have to be like, yo, could we count the mixtapes? I forgot who I compared him to before.
Okay, I love that.
You have to go with him.
I thought you were undeniable right here, right now, but that just...
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so explain this part to me, because I don't know the backstory of this, but what Kendrick Lamar, what his lyrics were about you, what can you explain? I'll just quickly read them. I know you know them. I used to bump Dak Carter 3. Okay, I used to bump Dak Carter 3. I held my Rolly chain proud. Irony, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down, from Kendrick Lamar. Let Lil Wayne down, and I don't really understand that. What? Help me out. What was that about?
That was my first time hearing it, but I think.
I'm watching Wayne's demeanor, man. Wayne really tapped out, bro.
He froze.
I think he just, I think he's a fan, like I'm a fan of his music.
Sure.
He's a fan of mine.
Yeah.
I think
he's definitely a fan of yours. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he just mean by he saw what everybody else he saw how much it meant to me. And I think that's all he mean is that I don't think it. And when we speak, and obviously he can't control that. And, so he didn't let me know. It ain't like he can control it or nothing. And also, I've spoken to him and I wished him all the best and told him he
Did you?
better
Good.
kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you better kill it. You gotta kill it.
Okay. Well, did he say anything to enlighten you about these lyrics about you? I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. I don't know exactly what that means. If he's sort of
No, he ain't. I don't think he. No, he knew he didn't have to do anything. There was no explanation that was needed for that. I think I understand. Again, that was my first time hearing it when you just said it.
Okay.
But I understand those words. Like I said, I think he just mean that he made it there, and his hard work is the reason why he made it there.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I took
let
it.
me down is me just being upset about not getting disappointed about not getting that's my anger.
Yeah. Yeah. When he says, I worked hard and then it undercut you in your hometown. Like I worked as hard as I could and I got to a point where unfortunately it let you down because I preempted you on what should have been your stage.
Without having any control of it. So that's actually him expressing his
Now watching Wayne just trying to struggle to try to like say the right things about this, man. I don't like that shit, man. I don't like that shit. All right. Wayne, I'm gonna be honest, I think Wayne's just out of touch, bro. And I think that does affect his legacy, because for a guy who, he had tremendous impact on the culture at a certain time, it explains why, even though he still has a huge fan base and people like me who still love his music, past like that prime era of Wayne, he never had that impact on culture anymore, bro. Honestly, the shit was over. Like, did people always want to listen to him because he raps good? Yes. But culturally, like, it paled in comparison to that other era. Or the era that we know him for. All right, let me try to react to this goddamn video.
Yeah. It's real. It's real. Alright. I'm going to focus on my actual job for a little minute, so I'll be back in a bit. I just told y'all I was going to pull back up on y'all, so I wanted to make sure I did that. But now that I've done that, I'm going to get to work, but I'll be back.